In this video, we will talk about the 2015 film Lolo, which tells the story of a 40-year-old woman who goes on a short vacation and falls in love with a man named Jean. However, their relationship faces an obstacle: her son, Lolo. Violette, a 40-year-old woman living in Paris, is always immersed in her work. One day, feeling exhausted, she tells her friend Ariane that she wants a break from work. Ever since her husband left, she has been living with her son, Lolo. Now, she wants to find a partner, as she hasn't met a decent man in years. To help her, Ariane takes her on a trip to visit her sister in another town, where Violette meets Jean, a divorced man. At first, Violette sees Jean as simple-minded and refuses to interact with him. Ariane teases her, suggesting she adopt a cat instead, as she might never be able to live with anyone. Encouraging Violette to make the most of the vacation, Ariane and her sister buy her new clothes and take her to Jean's house for a party. However, Violette finds Jean unattractive again after seeing his clothes. Despite this, she decides to get closer to him, overlooking his appearance. Jean initially assumes Violette is Ariane's girlfriend, and instead of correcting him, Violette plays along for a while before finally telling the truth. During their conversation, Jean shares that his daughter, Sabine, is studying in London, while Violette mentions having a sweet little son named Lolo. Jean's friend, Meytal the copyright guard, believes Violette likes Jean since she is sharing personal details. Jean, however, thinks she is too different from him and would never truly like him. Over time, Violette genuinely starts falling for Jean. When their vacation ends, Violette is unsure of when she fell in love with him. Ariane is surprised by their growing relationship. They reminisce about the past week they spent together, making a nearby woman uncomfortable with their conversation. Back in their respective lives, both Jean and Violette get busy with work. Jean plans to visit Paris soon, and Violette eagerly awaits his arrival. As soon as Jean arrives, Violette introduces him to her son, Lolo. Jean is shocked to see that Lolo is not the small child, as Violette had implied. After spending the night with Violette, Jean meets Lolo in the morning and starts feeling anxious. As he leaves the house, he focuses on building his new life, while Violette wonders if Lolo likes Jean. However, Lolo dislikes Jean and finds him cartoonish. Jean, having spent his life in a village, struggles to adjust to city life, which feels suffocating to him. Violette, however, is used to this lifestyle. Jean wants to meet Violette again, but Lolo keeps preventing their meetings. One evening, Jean falls asleep while waiting for Violette. Seeing this, Violette starts worrying that Jean might leave her, making her restless. Meanwhile, Lolo smiles, pleased with his plan to separate them. At the right moment, Jean and Violette reconnect, and she invites him over. Both look forward to their time together, but Lolo continues scheming to ruin their relationship. As soon as Jean arrives, Lolo treats him like a child, making things increasingly awkward. He bombards Jean with relentless questions about his work, exhausting Violette. After an hour of questioning, Lolo leaves and tells his friend that Jean won't last a week with Violette. However, 10 days pass, and their relationship only strengthens. Frustrated, Lolo comes up with another plan. He sneaks into Jean's house, pretending to help him get ready for a date with Violette. Secretly, he sprinkles itching powder into Jean's clothes. Unaware of this, Jean happily goes to meet Violette. By the time he realizes something is wrong, it's too late. Violette, thinking Jean might have a serious illness, asks for Ariane's help. However, Ariane is vacationing in Greece. Panicked, Violette insists on returning home and refuses to let Jean come near her. Lolo's plan works as he convinces Violette that Jean might have AIDS. She demands Jean take medical tests, which confuses him. When he confronts her about it, she realizes her mistake and apologizes, clearing up the misunderstanding. Lolo, upset that his plan failed, tries again. Violette invites Jean to a party and asks him to wear clothes Lolo picks for him. At the party, Lolo humiliates Jean, making him look like a fool. He even drugs Jean's drink, causing him to behave strangely. Jean starts annoying the chief guest, forcing Violette to take him outside. That night, Violette doubts whether she can maintain this relationship. The next morning, Lolo asks Jean to help him with his painting. Meanwhile, Violette, unaware that Jean is in the house, overhears Lolo saying that Jean is ruining her career. She also hears him call Jean an uncultured fool. Lolo is delighted, but Jean and Violette end up arguing. During the fight, Jean accidentally breaks his arm. At the hospital, the doctor mocks Jean, joking that it's the first time he's seen someone break their arm after getting a cast. Slowly, their argument resolves, and one night, Violette tells Jean she wants to live with him. Jean agrees, but Violette wonders how he and Lolo can live under the same roof. Ariane advises Violette to kick Lolo out since he can afford his own home. Though difficult, Violette realizes Lolo doesn't care about her happiness. Confronting him, she forces him to find his own place. Lolo, unhappy with this decision, starts planning one last trick. When Violette leaves town for 2 days, Lolo and his hacker friend tamper with Jean's laptop. That night, Jean prepares for an important meeting, but Lolo invites a group of girls over and does something unexpected. The next morning, Violette returns and sees the girls, assuming Jean brought them. Furious, she decides to break up with him. Jean insists he doesn't know them, but Violette refuses to listen. Lolo succeeds in breaking them apart. Jean, devastated, is late for his meeting, only to discover his software has been turned into a virus. Realizing Lolo is behind everything, he searches Lolo's room for proof and confirms his suspicion. When he tries to show Violette the evidence, Lolo confronts him, leading to a physical fight. Their altercation becomes so chaotic that people, including Violette, think Jean is trying to kill Lolo. As a result, Jean is arrested. Accused of cybercrime, Jean is labeled a criminal and terrorist. Violette cries, thinking about Lolo, but when she recalls Lolo's fake illness story, Ariane, as a doctor, realizes something is wrong. After proving his innocence, Jean is released and fixes the software, clearing his name. 2 months later, Ariane enjoys life with her Greek boyfriend. Violette, still unaware of Lolo's schemes, learns the truth when Ariane's daughter exposes him at his art exhibition. Ariane reveals that every man Violette dated before Jean also left because of Lolo. He manipulated her into disliking them. At first, Violette struggles to believe it, but everything soon makes sense. Wasting no time, she reaches out to Jean, but by then, he has moved to London. Realizing Lolo's toxicity, she finally decides to cut him out of her life. She tells him she read his diary, which contained proof of his schemes. When she announces her plan to leave for London, Lolo loses control, revealing his childlike mindset. He always wanted to control his mother. This time, Violette doesn't give in. She leaves for London and reunites with Jean, who tells her he got a better job. Finally, they live happily together. When Violette meets Jean's daughter, Sabine, she realizes just how much Jean suffered because of Lolo. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel.